Today, a major step in curing the most common form of cancer. It's underway now. That cancer, melanoma, skin cancer. This story is exclusive to Gephardt Daily, and what you are about to see is a patient who believed he was dying of melanoma cancer and is now cancer-free. And because of this breakthrough, he did it without any of the horrible side effects of chemotherapy.
I was dying.
What about now?
That's all there is to it. No, I feel great.
Larry Hegland is up and energetic, and he says he feels great.
Hey, Larry.
Krambach.
How are you?
I'm doing good, buddy.
Good to see you. Yeah. How are things?
Larry is back for a checkup with his doctor, surgical oncologist and researcher, Dr. Robert Antbacher at the Huntsman Cancer Institute in Salt Lake City. Larry and his doctors were not always so happy.
This is kind of at the worst.
Back in March of last year, Larry felt horrible. He was going through chemotherapy for melanoma cancer up and down his arm. The cancer was killing him.
It hurt.
The treatments, chemotherapy, state of the art, but unfortunately, some patients respond, about 10% of the time, I'm told. Sometimes they do not, 90%.
It hurt so bad, I couldn't hardly walk.
Larry lost all of his hair. He says he thought he was a burden to his family. He says the only time it didn't hurt was when he was sleeping, which was not very regular. At one point, the melanoma forced surgeons to amputate his right thumb.
I felt horrible. I couldn't eat. It hurt. I can't believe that a human body could go through that much pain.
So for Larry, the treatments were not working, and he, like so many others, just wanted to quit.
After 5.5 months of that treatment, I says, no more. I'm done. I don't care. If I die, I die. I wanted to die.
Because you felt awful.
I felt horrible.
And so only 1 in 10 patients will actually respond to standard chemotherapy for their melanoma.
But Dr. Antbacher and his team were not quitting on Larry. They developed what they hoped would be a new way to treat melanoma cancer. It was experimental. Dr. Antbacher and Larry agreed he would be part of a clinical trial.
We're retraining the immune system to recognize the melanoma as being something that should not be there.
That's right. Huntsman researchers have developed a way to engineer a change to the DNA in the cold and herpes virus. Once altered, the new virus was injected directly into the melanoma lesions on Larry's body.
What happens then, Bill, is that actually these tumor cells that we've injected it into, they are killed. But it also activates the immune system to fight the melanoma, not only where we've injected it, but also at distant sites. So it educates the immune system to kill any melanoma cells that may be elsewhere in the patient's body.
It went away. It's went away. I feel great.
That's right. 67-year-old Larry Hegland had been declared cancer-free.
That's great.
A miracle, as far as I'm concerned. They saved my life.
While Dr. Antbacher says standard chemotherapy has a record of helping only 10% of melanoma patients, this new procedure, he says, is helping up to 60%, and they're just getting started. For the remaining 40%, he has a plan.
That means that there are still patients who are not responding. So the future really lies ahead in terms of combining these therapies. Early data, but very promising for our patients.
And one more important aspect of this new therapy, there are none of the chemotherapy painful side effects.
Didn't lose my hair. I felt so much better. I slept so much better.
During the procedure?
During the procedure.
Wow.
Yeah.
So many times when you think about chemotherapy, you see patients who are very fatigued. You see patients who have
awful. People hate it.
Lost their hair,
yes.
and patients really can't function in their daily activities. So specifically with these viruses that we inject, they're extremely well tolerated by patients.
I couldn't believe how well they helped me.
For me as a researcher and for my patients, this is extremely exciting.
I feel excellent today. I really do. I feel excellent. I'm being cancer-free.
When I first started doing treatments for melanoma, we really had nothing that worked very well. We saw many patients that unfortunately succumbed to their disease. All of a sudden, we now have many treatments that work extremely well with very few side effects. So for me, it's extremely exciting to be able to help my patients with this.
It blows me away. I mean, I'm just in total disbelief that I feel as good as I do. I mean, I got a second lease on life. That's the way I feel.
Hi, how are ya?
Larry is just giddy about all of this, as you can plainly see, and he is making sure that I thank Huntsman Cancer Institute, his nurses, and everybody else over there. But you know what else? His doctors and his nurses and the whole staff at Huntsman are also very grateful to Larry and people like him. And they tell me this because they say without him volunteering to participate in their clinical trials, they could never make the progress they are making. And you know what else? When there is an update on this treatment, you will hear about it first right here at GephardtDaily.com.